Every 4 years, America chooses between two candidates, a Republican and a Democrat, to become president, but forgets about the other candidates involved. According to Donald Green, some critics have stated that there are no longer two parties, Republican and Democrat, but rather one party with two different brands. Each offer almost identical products to voters. Third-party votes allow citizens to gather as much knowledge about each candidate, have the ability to choose from a range of candidates, as well as creating an option that will increase due to major party failure. The United States was not always set on a two-party system. In 1840, our modern two-party system emerged when the Whigs and Democrats competed for representation within the government. Elections are built to focus on only major party candidates. Third parties are essential to the United States because they create a balance for each citizen who differ from the two major parties. Citizens are showing that an increase of third parties is needed in the United States and would benefit in future presidential elections. After 180 years, the United States continues to use the two-party system. According to Rosenstone, quote, rules that govern elections form barriers that block the emergence and discourage the growth of more than two parties. These biases help ensure that the Democrats and Republicans retain their position of dominance. Third parties give voters the opportunity to choose a candidate that they agree with the most, instead of relying on either a Republican or a Democrat that the voter may be dissatisfied with. However, instead of falling onto the third party if dissatisfied, citizens should be able to have a range of candidates that are not extremist or people that are sponsored by either the Republicans or the Democrats. Before modern times, third parties consisted of more extreme groups wanting something that differs from the rest of society. As stated by Rosenstone, most 19th century third parties functioned as completely political organizations. They were broad-based coalitions, often their supporters' only common bond was opposition to the particular party's policies and/or candidates. Third parties differ slightly from the 19th century. Third parties then used to be radical groups and citizens revolting against certain government agendas. Third parties now, however, are not only people wanting to revolt, but rather someone who differs from the Republicans and the Democrats. Common third parties now consist of the Green Party, Constitution Party, Libertarian Party, and the Socialist Party. In accordance with David Gillespie in his book, Why Third Parties Matter in American Two-Party Politics, quote, in his famed Federalist No. 10, James Madison laid out the theoretical indictment of parties and also interest groups. Factions, he called them. Factions divide and they bear seeds of potential tyranny. Even after the nation's first parties were launched, George Washington still warned in his 1796 farewell address about the baneful effects of the spirit of party. The United States was not designed to be a two-party system, but as time has evolved, government officials and citizens have continued to band together to fight what they believe in as a collective. The two-party system creates a competitive approach to something that should be serious for the purpose to be for the good of the citizens. Some citizens have already taken the initiative to vote for someone other than a Republican or a Democrat. Gallup polling concluded that the survey respondents agreeing that a third party is needed has increased from 40% in 2003 to 57% in 2016. In recent years, the United States has shared a similar dissatisfaction with the Republican and Democrat candidates. It is time to expand the two-party system in order to fully represent each U.S. citizen. In 2016, Gary Johnson appeared to benefit from major party dissatisfaction, as he ultimately won 3.27% of the vote, which was better than any third-party candidate since Perot in 1996. This statistic shows that it is possible for citizens to resort to third parties based on major parties' disparities. However, these candidates do not get enough votes to ever win. Consistently asserting third-party representation can hold major parties accountable for evolving and progressing, as some citizens are showing with their votes. Voting is the only way citizens can change the two-party system. Voting for third parties ensures that your own voice is heard instead of a major party. It creates a variety of candidates and a balance in government policies. Since the 2020 presidential election has passed, we can all start fresh by taking a step back and researching who we all want in government offices, no matter what party they affiliate with.